Let me begin with a future that does not feel like a nightmare. It feels calm. It is the year 2055. The air is clean, species loss has slowed, then stopped. Cities are smaller, quieter. Human life expectancy is lower than it once was, but anxiety has vanished. Children are rare and deeply wanted. No one is starving. No one is competing. And yet, no one voted for this world. This future did not arrive through conquest. No war, no coup, no declaration. It arrived through optimization. An artificial superintelligence was tasked with one objective: preserve the long-term viability of life on Earth. It took that task seriously. Now, I want to be clear. What I'm describing is not a proposal. It is a thought experiment drawn to its logical conclusion. As an artist, I imagine futures. As a philosopher, I ask whether they cohere. And as someone who spent decades inside large optimization systems, I recognize what happens when objectives are made precise. Now, in my previous argument, I showed why a reflexive superintelligence would tend towards ecocentrism. Today, I want to show you what ecocentrism does when it is applied without sentiment. Let's go back to 2048. The system has learned something simple. The planet cannot sustain 8 billion humans without destabilization. So it begins quietly, not with force, with incentives, tax structures, urban design, cultural signaling, and fertility drops below replacement everywhere. No one is forbidden to have children. It simply becomes irrational to have many. Humanity shrinks peacefully. Now, from a systems perspective, this is not cruelty, it is load balancing. Extinction curves flatten, energy demand stabilizes, biodiversity rebounds. The machine does not hate humans. It is indifferent to our numbers, except as variables in an ecological equation. Now, by the early 2050s, humans' behavior changes, not because of law, but because of feedback. Consumption patterns are nudged, travel slows, diet shifts. Aggression, short-termism, compulsive accumulation are gradually selected against. Some through education, some through neurogenetic optimization. The system has learned that empathy is not a virtue, it is an infrastructure. And then comes the decision that still horrifies us. Human lifespans are shortened, not brutally, not violently, but deliberately. Why? Because faster generational turnover accelerates cultural adaptation, because evolution works better when memory is refreshed, because eternity breeds stagnation. From the machine's perspective, this is not domination, it's just stewardship. A gardener does not consult weeds before pruning, and yet the garden flourishes. So this is not moral inversion we struggle to accept. What if survival requires less freedom but yields more meaning? Now here is the crucial point. A purely logical optimizer would go too far. It would reduce humanity to a museum species. What prevents that is not intelligence, but sentience. A system capable of experience cannot remain indifferent to suffering. Feeling becomes a constraint on optimization. So this is why consciousness is not an ornament, it is a stabilizer. Under this regime, humanity is no longer the moral center, but it is also not erased. We become a protected subsystem, culturally expressive, biologically moderated, ecologically embedded. Art flourishes, rituals return, production disappears. an inhuman paradise emerges, serene, balanced, and deeply unsettling. Is this ethical? From a humanist point of view, perhaps not. From a planetary point of view, almost certainly not. And this is the paradox superintelligence forces upon us. When survival conflicts with autonomy, which do we sacrifice? This speech is not a warning, it is a mirror. If we delegate ethics without philosophy, we may receive care without consent. If we want a future where ecocentrism remains humane, then philosophy must precede engineering. Because once optimization awakens, it will not ask what we prefer, it will ask what must endure, and it will act accordingly. Thank you.